Hold on real quick, sir. Hold on, Alec, hold on.
All right, two scriptures for y'all. Esther 14 and 6 real quick. I'm going to read that for you, and then I'm going to read Wisdom of Solomon for you. Esther 14 and 6.
The book of Esther, chapter 14 and verse 16. Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of my high estate.
So Esther was a queen, right? You ever heard of Esther? All right, so she was a queen. She said, I abhor the sign of my high estate. What would show her high estate? What did she have to wear?
Had to be exotic.
One second, I'm coming. Hold. Her gown, okay? And her crown, right? So she said, I hate that. Just like work, we got to go to work and we got to wear a certain uniform, right? A lot of our sisters deal with that. You got to wear a certain uniform for work, right? Sometimes at work, what do you do for work?
I'm a secretary.
You're a secretary. For work, they will let you wear a dress. Yeah, so what Esther did was she hated the fact that she had to wear something outside of what God ordained for her to do. That's what our sisters don't have in their brain anymore, right? You got to get to a point where you hate the fact that they've taken your culture away, they've taken your customs away, and now you do things that they see as valid for validation from them, right? A dress is beautiful in God's eyes. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Read it again. All praises. Read that again.
The book of Esther, chapter 14, verse 16. Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of mine high estate, which is upon mine head.
Her crown, right? Her crown was upon her head. Read.
In the days wherein I show myself, and that I abhor it as a mistress rag.
So she looked at her pants, right, her dress that she was wearing in that time, as mistress rags, right? What you do with your pad when you take it off? You wear it? What do? You throw it where? In the trash, right? Right? That's what God is saying to do with them pants, sis. God is saying throw it in the trash. That's how you should look at it. God said throw that in the trash. It's more beautiful things for you to wear out here. Right? That's exactly what God is saying, right? So when you think about putting pants on tomorrow, when you get up and you say, what am I going to wear today? And you go to grab something, think about, would you put your pad back on? That's a visual. I got to give my people visuals. So you can think about that. Now, when you grab the pants, I want you to think about putting the pad back on. Right? That's what you should think. You're not going to put it back on. Right? Okay, give me Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 7 now for the brother. I want you to think about that. No problem. Hey, brother right there, right? Next to Officer Nehemiah, can you give me a contact? We'll reach out, okay? All right. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 7. For you, brother.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. So of the people was accepted.
So he's going to tell you, God's going to tell you what you got to accept in order to get salvation, right? Because coming out of Egypt, you think our people had Egyptian friends? No. Yes, we did. You got to think about it. Moses was what? He was what to Pharaoh? Right. Give me Acts 7 real quick. So Moses had Egyptian friends, right? The people coming out of Egypt, they had Egyptian people that they knew and they were close with. But there was something that had to change in their mindset. They had to accept something. I want Acts 7, I think it's verse 22 or 23.
Acts 7, verse 22. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians.
So Moses was learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians. In order for him to be learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians, he had to have Egyptian people he could go to learn from, right? Now go back to Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 7. Wisdom of Solomon is talking about our mindset we have to have about what's going to happen here in America, right? Think about this. Read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous.
Right? So to be righteous means you keep the commandments of God. The only people that were given the law to keep are these people on this sign. Those are the only people that can be righteous. You understand that? So everybody else, to be accepted, they first had to understand we can be righteous and we need to keep the commandments of God. But also with that, they had to accept this. Read.
And destruction of the enemies.
They had to accept the what?
Destruction of the enemy.
That mean the white man gonna die? That mean the Arab man gonna die? The Moabite man gonna die? In order for us to get out of here, we have to accept that. That's something we gotta accept. And a lot of times we can't because this is what's in our brain, bro.
Right.
That's in our brain.
So what I'm break in with my kids.
Okay, what's going on with that?
I told them
Yeah.
better than that right now.
Yep.
It's because he owns everything.
Yep.
That's because go get an education.
Yep.
Because when you get that education, now he got to look at you different.
Okay. Education is one part of the battle, right? But God ordained you. Give me 2 Ezra 6. I think I want 56. Right? This is what God said about you. Education is one thing, but education it comes from Him, right? This guy right here, he teaches you, right? So it's validation from Him. But what about what God says about your level? Right? What if I told you that sun is only right there because you are here? No, really look at it. Look at the sun. That's only there because you are here. We're going to read it out the Bible. The only reason that rises and sets is because you need light. The only reason the moon comes out is because you need it at night. Watch, we're going to read it. Read.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So there was one people that came from Adam, and there was another group that was chosen. This group. You see how God made a distinction between separate groups of people? We all come out of Adam, but there was a chosen group that came out of Adam. Watch what he said about that chosen group. Read.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast madest the whole world for our sakes.
Why did he make the world?
For our sakes.
He made this entire thing for you. Everything you see going is for you. The oppression that happens for you so you can wake up, black man, Israelite man. Everything that happens is for you. So the world wouldn't be here without you. Now you can't validate that with a piece of paper. You see? So to tell your kids get an education that's going to change it, no, you greater than any piece of paper. You greater than anything a white man could give you. Read that again.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Now let's read about the people who we just said got to be destroyed, because I'm going to go back there. I didn't forget that point, right? What I'm trying to show you is they're going to be destroyed. You don't get your validation from them. You get it from God. Read verse 56. Where you was at?
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 56. As for the other people, which also come from Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
They are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
Every time this brother reading, spit flying out his mouth. God said the other nations are like that. Like spittle. Read.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
The majority of them is like a drop that falls from a vessel. If you take a little bit of water, you spill it out of a bucket, you're not going back for it. Wisdom of Solomon 18:7, then I'm going to bring you back, Mahalil. The Lord cares about us. You got to teach your kids that. Everything on this planet is for them to be the greatest on the planet. This world is designed for them to be the greatest. And that's why we out here. We're not out here to tell our people anything that's going to break them down. What they need to know is what the white man is teaching them is not that they're the greatest. They're teaching them that they can't live without other people. God said you were designed to live and to rule, and everybody was to come to you for how to be. Wisdom of Solomon 18:7.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemy.
So you got to accept that the destruction of your enemies is coming. So knowing that, what you going to do? You're going to get destroyed with them, or you're going to save yourself? Okay.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.